After the 2021 season, this channel put out a video predicting 5 Yankees who would not be back for the 2022 season. We got 4 out of 5, with the only miss being Aaron Boone, who was signed to a 3-year extension. Heading into this offseason, the Yankees have several free agents, including some that are coming off of serious injuries and others that are coming off of pretty great seasons. They also have a number of players who are under contract but are maybe past their prime, and some who've just fallen out of favor with the fans. Some of these moves are an absolute slam dunk and others are just speculation. But these are 10 Yankees who could be gone next season. Alright, so let's start with a slam dunk. Aroldis Chapman is 1,000% not going to be a Yankee. See ya! At the end of the season, there was a mandatory team workout, and Aroldis Chapman said that he would only come to the team workout if he had assurance that he was going to be on the postseason roster. The Yankees did not offer him that assurance, and instead said that he had to earn his spot on the roster like everyone else. Ironically, he probably would have been on the roster because Scott Efros injured his elbow, and so Aroldis Chapman was left off the American League Division Series roster, leaving the Yankees with a hole in the bullpen. In my opinion, he quit on this team, and if any other rival executives are watching this video for some odd reason, just know you do not want to pay Aroldis Chapman. He doesn't care. Number 9, Jameson Taillon. Taillon was acquired by the Yankees from the Pittsburgh Pirates prior to the 2021 season, with the hopes that a reconfigured throwing motion would allow him to develop into the pitcher that Pittsburgh imagined he could become when they drafted him number 2 overall in the 2010 amateur draft. He had been struggling with injuries, and the Yankees thought that a reconfigured motion might take some stress off of the elbow and allow him to pitch deeper into the season. They were correct. Taillon has actually pitched pretty well with the Yankees, not only conquering those consistent injury issues, but pitching very effectively in 2022, a season in which he tossed his most innings since 2018 and the second most of his career. He began the season lights out, and on June 18th, he was 8-1 with a 2.70 ERA, and you were starting to hear Cy Young whispers. But after that, he began to decline. Over the next 4 starts, he posted an 8.57 ERA, and though he improved on that down the stretch, he was never quite as dominant as he was during the first 2.5 months of the season. At 31 years old, he's going to want a 5 or 6 year deal most likely, but given his injury history, the Yankees should be very hesitant.
Thank everybody for making this night necessary.
Number 8, Zack Britton. Zack was one of the best ground ball pitchers and best sinker ballers in baseball when the Yankees traded for him from the Baltimore Orioles. And he's actually done a really nice job with the Yankees when healthy, but he's had a combination of Achilles injuries and most recently Tommy John surgery that caused him to miss 2022. And it's unlikely that the Yankees are going to bring him back unless it's at a extremely reduced rate, although that seems like the type of thing that Brian Cashman would do. We'll see if he's even the GM. Number 7, Aaron Hicks. After boasting that he was going to have a 30-30 season in 2022, that's 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases to the layperson, Aaron Hicks played like utter dog shit for about 95% of the season, minus the occasional 2 to 3 day hot streak. He did have one of the season's biggest home runs, a game-tying shot against the Astros, but other than that, he didn't hit at all. He declined significantly in the outfield and didn't draw nearly as many walks as he used to. His performance was so atrocious that the Yankees traded a solid, homegrown left-handed starting pitcher for his replacement, who was going to be in a walking boot for a further 6 weeks before he could even begin to rehab. Hicks was boring, he was awful, and even though he makes $10 million per season, it's time to DFA him and cut your losses. He's a sunken cost. For the Yankees. Number 6, Matt Carpenter. Now, personally, I would bring Matt Carpenter back if he were willing to come back. He did an outstanding job with the Yankees. He had 15 home runs in less than 130 at-bats. He was essentially Babe Ruth for about a month there. But then he fouled the ball off of his foot and missed pretty much the entire second half with a fractured foot. He was back for the postseason roster, and he is a fan favorite just because of how well he played. However, you have to consider that he has to compete with Giancarlo Stanton for at-bats, and he might not want to do that given how well he played. So some other team might be willing to give him more opportunities as their regular DH, and in that scenario, maybe he goes elsewhere. But I think the Yankees should do everything in their power to bring him back. Number 5, Josh Donaldson. JD was one of the more perplexing trades that the Yankees have made under Brian Cashman, and that's saying something. Clearly past his prime, the Yankees decided to take on $50 million in salary over 2022 and 2023, but appeared to have been significantly burned on that deal. Donaldson barely hit his weight for most of 2022. The power is gone, and though his defense was mostly on point, the Yankees have a number of infield prospects that are ready to take over at various spots, and they already have 2 really good defensive third basemen, DJ LeMahieu and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who a lot of people forget won a Gold Glove at third base. He also made a lot more contact than Josh Donaldson, and in general, didn't act like a total a-hole. Number 4, Andrew Benintendi, who is a free agent. Acquired at the trade deadline, Benintendi provided some much-needed left-handed contact hitting ability after he took over for Joey Gallo in left field. He also provided 9 doubles in just 113 at-bats before breaking his hamate bone on a swing. After hitting .320 with the Royals, his numbers dipped overall a little bit with the Yankees as he hit just .254. But after a slow start, his final 16 games were fantastic. He batted .317 with an .871 OPS, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs in just 60 at-bats, striking out 10 times. He's going to be a free agent, and I think the Yankees would love to have him back. He's only 28 years old. But as a free agent, it's up to Andrew to decide where he wants to play. My prediction? I think he comes back to the Yankees, but stranger things have happened.
The most famous baseball player of all time, Babe Ruth.
Number 3, Kyle Higashioka. Higgy is a homegrown Yankees talent, and he's done a nice job as the Yankees' backup catcher for the past few years, but I think it's time to improve a little bit at that position. Ben Rortvedt was injured for most of 2022, but he's just 25 years old. He's a left-handed hitter, and he's been lauded by scouts as being a terrific pitch framer and thrower, both qualities that we know the Yankees value. The Yankees also have Austin Wells in the system, who most scouts don't think will remain at the catching position, but it's notable that the Yankees haven't moved him off of that position yet, and he continues to rake on offense, so who knows? Number 2, and this one is just pure speculation on my part because the Yankees have some good infield prospects coming up, but I think Gleyber Torres has raised his trade value. He put up a 4.1 wins above replacement season. That's not bad. He had 24 home runs and 76 RBIs. His on-base percentage was a little bit lower than you would like, just .310. That could improve as the shift goes away. He hit a lot of balls up the middle this year that turned into outs. But again, the Yankees have Oswald Peraza. They have Anthony Volpe coming up. Both of those guys are shortstops, so one of them will have to shift over to second base. The Yankees also have IKF, DJ LeMahieu, and Josh Donaldson under contract next year, so it's going to be kind of a logjam. I could see a baseball move happening where the Yankees deal Gleyber Torres to kind of refill the coffers with prospects in some areas where they're a little thin, like the outfield and like catching. This is one where I definitely want to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what you think about Gleyber Torres possibly being moved this winter.
If you don't like it, you're fired. You haven't hired me yet.
And number 1, Aaron Judge. I know that fans would not want to see this happen. I would be devastated if this happens. And though it's highly unlikely, there is a non-zero chance that he will sign elsewhere. He's the face of the Yankees franchise. If you lose him, you are essentially in rebuilding mode immediately. But Aaron Judge brings a lot of value to this team. He's a Yankees legend now that he broke Roger Maris's AL record. And if you let him play out his career, he's probably going to get 99 hanging in Monument Park. He's one of the greatest players we've ever seen offensively. He's a fantastic defensive player who can play above average defense in both right field and center field. The metrics don't love him in center field, but I think he does a great job out there. Certainly passes the eye test. And there's just nobody like him in Major League Baseball. He's a unicorn. The Yankees are going to have to pay, and they know it, which is why they might not be very active on the free agent market and might have to rely on some other kind of trades to make things happen. But number one priority this winter has to be to sign Aaron Judge, whatever it costs. Honorable mention, Chad Green. He was a fan favorite who's gotten a lot of big outs for the Yankees over the years, but he tore his UCL and required Tommy John surgery. He's going to miss a large portion of next season. I would not expect him to return to the Yankees, though it's possible that they do sign him to a multi-year contract and let him rehab. Brian Cashman, also an honorable mention. He is the Yankees GM, so if something gets announced, it will happen probably right away. The Yankees aren't going to want to waste a lot of time this winter, but he is not under contract officially as of the time of this recording. However, it is possible that the Yankees have already negotiated something behind the scenes and are just waiting to announce it when the season is over. He's been the GM since 1998, and though he has earned a reputation as kind of a savvy move maker, and the Yankees do remain in contention most seasons, a lot of fans think that it might be time for some new blood in that GM position. All right, let me know in the comments who you think stays and who you think goes. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It'll help the channel. Appreciate it. See you next time.